Okay, lipo batteries and your Tamiya model. I keep seeing this asked a lot on some Tamiya groups that I'm on. What are the advantages of lipos? Should I switch to lipos? Is it worth it? People just asking for info. It's very good people are asking for info because they do take a bit of looking after. But I mean, so does a NIM battery. That's a nickel metal hydride that people are probably used to with the Tamiya re-release stuff. Certainly when I've just got back into RC about 3 years ago, I started with some nickel metal hydride packs, NIM or NIMH, depending on how you pronounce it. And everybody that I bumped into was running lipo batteries, so I bought a couple then. Like that was these two cell lipo batteries then, 2 cell. It's just how they're constructed. There's 2 cells in the battery. Each lipo cell has a nominal voltage of 3.7 volts, which you can see this is lipo, lithium polymer, that stands for 2S, which is 2 cell. Confusingly, they use an S for a, I don't know what that is, why they do that. 7.4 volts, so yeah, 3.7 volts per cell. If you're using NIMH batteries or NIM batteries, the milliamp hours is the same unit, and the 45C is the discharge rate of the battery, how much it can put out. Generally with Tamiyas, unless you're running silly brushless systems and things, anything sort of 30C and above is probably ample. But this is just a basic video, just the basics of lipo and your Tamiyas really. So I won't get too far into that. Right, so that's explained the voltage, and I'll move on now to how to charge and look after your batteries in that respect. So, as I say, it's very important to keep the 2 cells of the battery balanced, so they're at about the same voltage all the time. Your basic charger, which is all I got, just this one's an Overlander VSR Mini, 60 watt 60 amp charger. I've had it a couple of years now, never missed a beat with it. It does all chemistries of battery, NIM, lipo, life, lilo, whatever the hell that is. Up to 4S or 4 cells, 14.4 volts I think that is. But yeah, it does up to them. I just, the biggest batteries I've got, these are both a 3 cell battery. You see there, you can see on these are a soft case, the other ones I've just shown you were a hard case. These soft case batteries, you can see the cells, so 1, 2, 3. The label's not very good on that one, but yeah, they're 11.1 volt 30C discharge. I use the 3 cell ones in my crawler, so 30C is more than adequate. Another 3 cell, it's a lot bigger than the other one. This is a 500 milliamp hour. That's a 5,000 milliamp hour, should I say, and this one's a 3,000 milliamp hour. That's the only difference, just how much juice is in the tank. So, lipo charger, say it's important to balance charge every time. I'm going to show you how that works now. So, I'll turn this on at the wall, have a slurp of tea. Okay, so what you've got, if you can see this, you've got BAT type or battery type there, and you can scroll through the different batteries. Lilo, I've never even seen one of them, or one of them. NIMH or NIM, you're all familiar with, I'm sure. NiCad, it's a blast from the past. That's a lead acid battery. I suppose you could charge a car battery from this because it'll do the voltage. A meter I've never used that. I just go to the lipo one and I press enter, and it says lipo charge. Now you might think that's the right saying to use, but like I say, it's important to balance. So you've got your plus and minus to scroll through this way. Lipo balance is what you want. Now that's displaying a 4 amp charge for a 3S battery. I'll go through that in a minute. But I want that. I want the lipo balance. So what I do, I press enter. You see the 4 amp is flashing. Now, put that down a sec. This is important with lipo batteries. You charge at 1C, apparently. I think that's the correct term, but basically a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, you would charge at a maximum of 4 amps. If it's a 3,500 milliamp hour battery, you'd charge at a maximum of 3.5 amps. And so on. Like a 5,000 milliamp, you could charge at a maximum of 5 amps. So, let's get our battery here. There's 2 plugs on a lipo battery. I've got a little cable tie around this one. It's just because I don't like this wobbling around on its own. I'll keep it together like that. I think it's a little more secure. I'm using a Dean's connector, T-plug Dean's, however you want to describe it. And this is the balance lead. And you can see you've got an earth wire and then 1 wire to each cell. So that's really important with lipo batteries. It's how you can tell a lipo battery from a mile away. It's got a balance lead. And it has that. And this is how we plug it into the charger. I'll make sure I'm doing this in shot. So the Dean's connector in first. And then, I should show you this really. If we can see it from there, there's 2 little tabs on this side, and they correspond to the 2 little slots on there. And they just push in, nice little click, nice and gentle. They're only really tiny pins in them. And most important, safe lipo charging. I'd probably regard one of these bags as a bare minimum. So we seal that in the bag, fasten this up. I will just note that when you buy a charger, it won't come with this lead. This is called a balance lead extension. I'll just reach over here, I've got another one, a 3S one. All it is, it's the same as your battery on this end, and the same port, if you like, as you've got on the charger that end. Without a balance lead extension, in my opinion, it's impossible to safely charge a lipo, because those balance leads on these batteries aren't long enough to have plugged in there and reach into the bag. So that's how I like to do. Put them both in the bag, make sure they're tucked nicely down, fasten up, and then we're ready to set the charger. So as we can see at the moment, 4 amps is flashing. I can set that, that'd be too high. Set it at 3.8. I say 4 amps is absolutely fine as a maximum, but there's no need. The charger will regulate itself and put the amps in that it requires anyway. So 3.8 amps, correct. And I say now it's flashing up 11.1 volts and then 3S. You can select these by going up. That's 4S. That's the maximum this charger does. 4S 14.8. We don't want that. Back to 3S and again back down to 2S. We'll press enter. And to start the charging process, we press and hold enter. It will make that series of beeps. It will check the battery's in good condition to charge. It will set an alarm off if you've got a cell that's low voltage or too high a voltage. If you've plugged the wrong battery in and tried to charge it on the wrong setting, it will register as a fault. Then it's saying confirm, yeah, it's saying 2 cell batteries, yeah. Confirm, stop, enter, and then start. You see the amps are going up here for the charge. That's telling you the battery voltage, so this one's already actually charged by the looks of it. Now here, look, you've got 4.22 and 4.22 on the voltage. They're the 2 cells, cell 1, cell 2. Obviously cell 3 and cell 4 aren't being charged. We've only got a 2 cell battery on here. I'm guessing they're going to set the alarm off in a minute to tell me this is charged. But yeah, you can scroll through different things. On this particular charger, they all vary slightly, but I have found most chargers I've used are a very, very similar interface to that. See, the amperages come right down to 0.2 amps because it's nearly fully charged. And that's what you do. So I'll stop this, I'll turn it off, and I'll show you another important thing. So say I've been out and I've took all these 2S batteries, gone out with my car, the weather's turned, it's gone horrible, I've thought, oh, let's go home, sod this. Or you broke a car, or for whatever reason you've not used all your batteries and you've come back with a fully charged battery. Now, having a battery empty or fully charged is very bad for a LiPo battery. If you leave a fully charged battery for a period of time, it's gonna well, ruin it basically. Possibly that's where the horror stories come from anyway. So storage mode again, I'll just lean over and turn the charger on the wall. Come up into your LiPo memory again, so enter, charge, balance, we don't want that, fast charge, we definitely don't want that, storage, we'll set up 2 amps, it's going to discharge a maximum of 2 amps. That's the maximum this charger does. Oh, gone through the wrong menu there. I want storage mode, it's flashing 2 amps, that's the maximum this charger will discharge at. It's only a cheaper one. I believe you can get more expensive chargers that will do more. It just takes a bit longer to do it on this. So 2 amps, yeah. 2S, correct. Again, press and hold for the beeps. Battery check. It's confirmed that I've got the right battery plugged in. And that'll do a storage mode. That will take the battery down now to a safe level of charge. I believe, don't quote me, but it's about 7.6 to 7.8 volts total. It's just, that's how they're shipped. That's how that's the voltage they're at in the shop before you buy them. Like that, they're pretty safe. Let's turn this off because that does make a noise sometimes. Stop the charge. Turn the charger off. Yeah. So that's charging, storage, the physical storage of them. As a minimum, you want a LiPo bag. They're I think they're like a Kevlar wound bag to try and prevent any fire if the worst should happen. As I say, I've had these peak ones now for, must be getting on 3 years. They've not puffed or anything like that, which means if you get a LiPo and this is a hard case one, it's a really thin plastic case around the cells like you can see on there, but it's got a really thin plastic case around it. A puffy LiPo is when a cell has failed basically, and it'll open this case up and it'll split it along there. If you come across one of them, don't touch it, don't go near it. Just dispose of it safely. Don't try and, when I say don't touch it, I mean don't try and charge it and use it. Yeah, they can be a bit expensive, but they're not worth that much. So, store in a lipo bag as a minimum. I don't know if we can see on camera, this is, let's charge it to one side now. That would be a minimum for me, but this is how I store my lipos. It's ex-military surplus ammo tin. I put them in the bags, I put them in there. It's a metal box, fireproof box. One note, they do come with a rubber seal around the inside of these lids. Remove it, and as an extra I've put a few holes in the top. It's just because if something does go bad in there, battery catches fire or whatever in there, it's got somewhere for the heat and the pressure to dissipate then. Leave the seal in there, leave that as a sealed box, and it's a bomb, isn't it? So we don't want that. Now then, your car, your Tamiya re-release or whatever it is you're using, chances are it came with a TBLEO 2S ESC. They'll run LiPo batteries, but as I've said, the LiPo batteries have a safe level in their cells that you must keep them at. A LiPo safe ESC, such as this Hobbywing 1060, I use these in all my Tamiyas because they're like 20 quid, fit and forget, brilliant bit of kit, fully waterproof. Come back after a run, I hose the cars down, dry them off with some compressed air, easy maintenance. But yeah, they're brilliant, they're like a industry standard. They've got two little jumpers on the top, and when your battery reaches its minimum safe voltage per cell, that will slow your car right down, and you'll notice, you'll go, oh, it's gone. You're trying to drive it and it just cuts off, basically, goes into a safe mode, and you'll be able to limp the car back to you, but then switch off, unplug your battery, store it away, and storage charge it as soon as it's practical to do so, really. So now some cars, I'm just trying to think, my Clodbuster has got in the original Tamiya ESC. The reason I say I use these is because Tamiya ESCs don't have the aforementioned low voltage cutoff that these do. To keep LiPo safe, for some reason Tamiya don't recognise LiPo as a thing even. So what you can do, and what I do on the Clodbuster, because it's got the Tamiya ESC in it, I've not put one of these in it because it's obviously a twin motor. On Amazon, places like that, you get these cheap, I say cheap, 2 for a £5 cheap. This is a LiPo alarm, and when I plug this in here, this will work on, you've got all these little contacts at the bottom, and you flip it around. The instructions aren't very clear on this one, but basically it will do up to about an 8 cell battery, I think this will. Again, for most of us it's not really anything, but for the price, if you're getting LiPos, get some of these. For the price, they're brilliant, because I can come back, put my batteries on there and think, oh, which one is it I need to charge? And instead of faffing about charging it into the, plugging it into the charger to find out the voltage, what I can do is, get ready for the beep, plug that in there, and you can see it will start to cycle through different gibberish. So right, I'll start from the start. Start from the start. We'll plug it in so you can see that again. It'll beep and it'll say 2 cells, total voltage 8.35 volts, which is fully charged. 4.174. Sorry, cell 1 4.17 volts, cell 2 4.17 volts. So that tells me that is, near as damn it, fully charged. Both cells are identical voltage. Good, happy, can go run that one. But plug it in again. I'm not showing you something else. If you're using a car that doesn't have a lipo safe ESC, or even is on a manual speed controller if you're really into the retro thing. What you can do with this is there's a little button on the top. Just push that and that'll come up with different voltages. 3.6, this is talking volts per cell. So that's off. That means there's no alarm set. So I can press this, and the lowest you really want to go is 3 volts per cell. And that's what I run that at in my clodbuster. Because I know when you're at full throttle with 2 motors in a clodbuster, that'll dip down just to the 3 volts and set the alarm off, which, as you heard when I plugged the battery in, is quite loud. So that's how I get around it like that. I'd buy some of them anyway. Even if all my cars had a lipo safe cut off, I'd buy them. So I got them from Amazon. I think there were 2 for a £5. But yeah, this has been helpful to somebody. Me waffling on for, what's it been now, for 20 minutes? Wow. Yeah, I hope it's been useful to somebody. By no means is this a definitive guide. If there's still things you're unsure of, do a bit more research, ask in the Tamiya groups, have a look around YouTube, make your own mind up. Important thing with lipos is just keep safe with them. Don't do anything silly with them. Storage charge, balance charge, look after them like that, and they really are a worthwhile upgrade for any RC really. Well, like I say, I hope that's been helpful. Thanks for watching.